This is ROH wrestler Adam Cole, and you are listening to the podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Meat Wad. I'm Doug.
And welcome to episode 295 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Cool, bro. You can follow us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
The podcast is on Twitter at WNS Podcast, at WNS_Daniel, and at Tyler_Abear.
There you go. So welcome to the show. Got lots to talk about this week. No Mercy, Raw, Smackdown, maybe Total Bellas, maybe talk a little bit about WWE 2K17, Hot Topics, Q&A, all that good stuff and more. But first, how you guys doing?
Can't stop itching.
Oh, that's not good. You need to...
Right here.
Yeah?
On my thumb.
That's weird.
That sounds weird. Like right here. What does that mean?
I had an inner ear itch earlier, and it was like driving me insane.
Is that the type of thing where it's like you're trying to use your pinky, but also you're using your tongue to the roof of your mouth?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was driving me nuts. I did not.
I don't quite understand that.
I don't either. But it was inside my skull. Skull! I did not enjoy it. But, Doug, how are you?
I'm fine.
Hanging in there? Feeling a little under the weather?
A little bit.
But that's all right.
What about you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for January to be here.
Are you willing?
I am ready, willing, and Gable. That's right. I'm not Gable, but I am able to get excited about the Royal Rumble because they made the announcement. Tickets went on sale, pre-sale. So we've already secured our tickets. We've already secured our hotel. And we're going to have one hell of a time.
I think town-wise, it's going to be better than New Orleans.
Yeah.
I feel like. Because, before, that was the only time I've been to New Orleans. But I mean, don't get me wrong, the events that we went to and everything was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with WrestleMania being there, I think there's something else going on. It was just...
It was very crowded.
Yeah.
More crowded than you would normally think. Yeah. Because
I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, because not only was it a normal...
I mean, I enjoyed that tour thing, but
you weren't impressed with New Orleans?
I guess the tour, but I don't know. I think it was just the experience with everything was so crazy,
mm-hmm.
and then
I thought New Orleans as a city was really cool. I
think
I drove, and I'm not I'm not used to big city driving, and it sort of was like an experience for me.
Yeah, never forget that.
I just just flat out, we don't drive like that around here. It's just too much like big city driving for me.
Never forget the boots.
Big city living and a voodoo woman named Phyllis. So, yeah. It's the Water Boy, for those who don't know.
I knew it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
It's just like all that crazy shit where they're like, this is a one-way and you can't fucking go here, but you got to make sure you park it over. It's just too much for me.
That was a lot.
I feel like, though, where we went, where there was one way, is the streets were small.
Yes.
As a city, I thought it was cool. As a city that I had to maneuver, and I thought it was like, well, this is kind of shit. But I'm not used to driving like that, or like having to I don't know, whatever you would.
Well, it was also a number of things as far as the people, as far as the crowd. You have your normal, hey, I'm going to go to New Orleans for the weekend. Should be a lot of fun. You have your residents of New Orleans. You've got whatever else was going on other than WrestleMania that had it so packed up. And then you had everyone who was there for WrestleMania. That's an extra 70-something thousand people crowding that city.
Yeah.
So it was very cluttered, to say the least. But hoping that Royal Rumble in San Antonio is going to be a little bit better. We've got our hotel just about half a mile away from the Alamo Dome. And they've already announced that NXT is going to be taking place there. Evolve's going to be having.
They're doing NXT
there.
at the Alamo Dome?
Not at the Alamo Dome, but
that's a big building.
Yeah, it's going to be at a nearby event center, something like that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned on more details for that. And should be a lot of fun. No feedback this week, but that's all right. We are going to dive right into No Mercy that took place this past Sunday. The kickoff match, Hype Bros teaming up with American Alpha going up against Ascension and Vaudevillains, with the Hype Bros and American Alpha getting the victory. Anything to really take away from it?
Not really.
No.
I don't really remember too much
Yeah.
about it.
Was I even there for that match?
Yeah. No?
Yeah.
I think I came in as it was starting.
You weren't there for the Kurt Hawkins thing.
Yeah, that's right.
All I remember was thinking that it said the Vaudevillains and the Ascension are
They've fallen so much.
No, yeah, I remember us being like, damn, I forgot the Vaudevillains were on SmackDown, and you were like, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. Aiden English has a trench coat now and a beard. Well, he's been having a beard.
They've been having those coats.
Really?
Yeah, so you got to see the air quote debut of Kurt Hawkins.
Comes out.
Step foot in the ring.
It's like he does his own introduction, in his Titantron music or whatever. He does his own thing.
Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
The fucked up thing was they did I said I was going to step foot in the ring, and he did. I'll have my first match on Smackdown on Tuesday, which he wasn't even on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he
Did you see
addressed that, apparently.
Yeah, he did address it.
I don't know what he said.
I didn't see him addressing it. But
It was one of those WWE.com exclusive things, and then they posted on their Facebook where whoever the backstage reporter is goes up to him and is like, hey, you said you were going to be on there, but the show's over. You ran out of time. And he turns to her and he goes, what's that old saying? Time waits for no man. Except Kurt Hawkins. And then there was an explosion video or whatever. No.
What
Whatever.
if he got pulled?
Probably. That or they're going to try and take what they were doing with Eva Marie, where they were just delaying the entrance, and they're having it fall on to Kurt Hawkins with these terrible Chuck Norris facts, but he's replacing Chuck Norris with Kurt Hawkins. Who knows? Man. Who knows? But I did find it very odd that they kicked off the pay-per-view with the championship match. That's
Doug said that he read that people were saying because of the debates or something.
yeah. I mean, I can see that the
Because
presidential
that was the
debate took
only
place.
thing I thought about, because there was nothing super big that happened at the end of the pay-per-view. So
Yeah.
I think that was most logical.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but the thing that gets me is that the WWE is hyping it as the main event. That's the main event. John Cena has now been in his 68th.
The main event is the first match.
No, it is not. It is the main event. It is the last event that people wait for. That's the main event of No Mercy was Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. It doesn't matter how you word it.
And Randy Orton were actually supposed to be the first match. The first match, I don't know. I'm just saying stupid stuff.
I mean, the fact that they had the championship match as the first one and they didn't have a championship match as the last match, that kind of
threw you off.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't understand the train of thought that we are concerned with people watching the debate instead of the main event because of the time, but there's no rating. I mean, I'm sure internally they have numbers on what segments and how much things get watched, but those are private numbers that I don't believe that they release to the public. So I don't understand. It doesn't work the same in the way that Raw numbers or SmackDown, where those are used to for advertisements and stuff, to bargain rates for advertisements. So I don't understand why that would be a concern for them. But I don't know. It's a little weird.
There's no, I don't get it. I mean, if that's the main event and you're trying to test your numbers out, yeah, I can see that and be like, okay, are people really just tuning in for this matchup, or are they actually going to stick around? and watch the remainder of the matches. Because honestly, I don't think that there was that much interest in the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt enough to make it the final match to have people holding on to.
No, it was a 2-match card for sure. It was all about the 3-way and Miz and Ziggler.
Yeah.
Everything else was just sort of there.
And yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it. The 2 matches were the reason for really tuning in. The other matches were okay. What did you think about the triple threat, though?
I thought it was pretty good, but not like at the level of like AJ's had like a pretty incredible year. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's had a bad match with anybody, but triple threat is a little bit different. It's a little bit trickier. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was at the level of his other big matches this year, but I didn't think it was that bad or anything.
Is that to fault him or the matchup itself?
Well, I think I don't think it was him necessarily. I think I'm sort of down on Dean Ambrose in the ring right now. I think that's part of it. I think just in general, the fact that it's harder to have a good match that's a triple threat match, takes it down a peg. But I mean, there's nothing about his performance in particular that I would cite as that, so I wouldn't put it as a knock against him or anything. I think he's had a pretty awesome run this year. I mean, I think you can't really point to anything that he's done then say like, what the fuck was AJ doing? I mean, outside of maybe like his first couple of matches with Jericho, they were just sort of like there.
Yeah.
Other than that,
see, and I thought they were going to try and swerve everybody by having the double submission into the tapping out. I figured that was going to be their way of saying, okay, AJ Styles is out of this competition, so later in the night we're going to have Dean Ambrose versus John Cena to determine who's going to be the champion.
right?
And be like, hey, you lost to both of these guys technically, so now it's up to us to figure out of those two who is the better man.
Yes, yeah. I thought for a second that might have been it too until they restarted it because that would be like a way of protecting him.
Yeah,
and moving the title because we sort of talked about last week the whole like Cena thing. Like, do you give him the record? And I think yes, you do give him the record. But the thing about it, it's not tying it that is the big deal. It's breaking it, and this would only be tying it. So if you're gonna break it, it should be at a big show, like maybe like a Mania or something. But to do that, he has to win it one time before that and lose it. So it wouldn't have surprised me if he would have won it here and lost it, and then breaks the record at like Mania or something.
right.
So I could have seen that, but they did restart it. So.
Yeah, they restarted the matchup, and AJ Styles ends up getting the victory to retain his WWE Championship. Nikki Bella defeats Carmella. Nothing really stood out about that matchup for me. Not to knock the ladies, it's just there was nothing really memorable about it. I was kind of surprised that Nikki got the win over Carmella. I figured that would have been a chance to make a new star and stamp her name.
Make it a win.
Make it a win. I did really poorly in the prediction picks.
I think I made up a little bit of ground this time.
Yeah, you actually did. So, oh well. So Tyler, you are now in the lead
By 1 point.
By 1 point. Not too far behind. Doug's close as well. So still anybody's
scores?
game. What was it 54 to 53 to 49? I believe it's pretty close, or 53-52, somewhere around there. It's very close. The tag match, same thing. I mean, nothing to knock the guys, but nothing really stood out about the match. Heath Slater and Rhino retained, which I don't really know where they're going to go from there, unless they're going to face either the Ascension or the Vaudevillains. I mean, do you give the Usos like a fourth chance now? Because they lost to Heath Slater and Rhino, but they got back into the picture. They lost to Heath Slater and Rhino. Then they became #1 contenders, and they lost to Heath Slater and Rhino. So now here we are.
Give them another chance.
Yeah, give them one more chance. Why not?
I could see them doing like a hot-shotting the Vaudevillains to the main event or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we sort of talked about this last week when we sort of came to the agreement that the fun in Slater and Rhino is in the chase and not necessarily in them being champs. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't have surprised me if they had taken the belts off of them at this point. But also, it's not like they've had them on there long enough to where it's like grading and like, so it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
They have them. So I mean, it's not like they are like dead in the water right now.
Yeah, but it's still in the back of your mind of like how far can this really go, kind of thing, you know. But
well, they did help out. They helped out Ziggler, so I could see maybe even doing the Spirit Squad versus those guys because that's they didn't tease it, but they did come out and help Ziggler on SmackDown.
Sure. And the next time,
that's about all I can remember from SmackDown.
Well, the next time we see SmackDown Superstars in a pay-per-view will be at Survivor Series, and Daniel Bryan came out with Shane and challenged Raw to the Survivor Series, a traditional 5-on-5, a tag team or 5-team tag team against.
That seems
5.
excessive.
That is that's going to be stacked.
5 dudes and 5 women, sure, but the 5 teams.
So you're going to have 10 on 10 basically.
That's a lot of dudes.
And now is it okay, so I pin you, is your partner gone as well? I would imagine so. And then they also did the 5-on-5 women's matchup.
I like the return to the emphasis of the Survivor teams, but the 5 tag team is just a lot.
It's pretty much all. It's their entire division.
Sure.
So there's not really anyone who's not going to be.
Everybody's
in that match.
getting on that card.
Yeah. So even the makeshift matches, even the makeshift tag teams, they're gonna be on there. Baron Corbin defeating Jack Swagger. Whatever. I mean, whoever lost is dead in the water anyways. I mean, they brought Jack Swagger in to try and like revitalize him, and ends up losing, and nothing really happens on SmackDown this past week.
I don't really know that they brought him over to revitalize him as much as they brought him over to like help put other dudes over.
Yeah.
Because I mean, SmackDown is a lighter roster. They have less people, you know.
Well, yeah. But you have Corbin, who has nothing going for him right now because Kalisto's out.
Swagger. So.
Well, yeah. Well, you have Swagger, who comes in, has nothing going for him.
Well, I think he's there just to make other dudes, pretty much. I think he's like, I think he's. I mean, I think we had a question about if he was going to be pushed or he's there to make other guys, but I think he's just like the Jinder Mahal. He's like the jobber with a name to like make
He'll
other
get
dudes.
a win every once in a while, and just to keep his name up.
Make it a win.
Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Miz threw everything he had at him.
Hell of a match for these guys.
Oh
Yeah. And Miz is, he's stepped it up this year, especially in the past few months.
I mean, if it's not AJ's year, it's fucking Miz's year so far.
Yeah. That's your number 1 and number 2 heel in the company right now. These guys are just blown away. At least on SmackDown. On Raw, obviously you've got your Kevin Owens, and Jericho's become more of a tweener because he's getting over with the crowd with the list. But yeah, hell of a job by Ziggler and Miz. This, if it wasn't going to be the triple threat, this should have been the main event because it's title versus career. Is this going to be the end of Dolph Ziggler? I feel like there were more implications in this match than there was Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
They had a hell of a lot more heat than the main event did, for sure.
Yeah.
But Miz got super kicked with Ziggler's foot. It wasn't like the boot or whatever. It was
Right.
just like, oh, you got a sock to the face.
I mean,
That's still.
it was a pretty ho hum show, and but the crowd was like really into this match.
Mm-hmm. And they had the Maurice doing that spray to his face, to Ziggler's face. You had the Spirit Squad come out and attack, and then they all got ejected. And
we want Mitch.
yeah, so Ziggler ends up getting the win, becoming the new Intercontinental Championship. Hey guys.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was about to say, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but Becky Lynch was unable to compete due to non-competition related injuries.
Let me tell you something.
Non-in-ring competition related injuries.
Let me tell you something. Nothing sounds more suspicious than you feeling the need to say that it was not related to in-ring competition 500 times.
Yeah. It's
In
like
fact-
just to let you guys know.
In fact, if you had just said she's out with an injury, I probably wouldn't have suspected anything.
Yeah.
But now I'm almost certain it's because of an in-ring, something related to in-ring,
She was we kind of put her in a match before the pay-per-view, and she kind of got hurt, and that's on us, but you don't need to know that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird situation.
Yeah. Because I want to say that people were saying that she wrestled like that Friday night and was like holding her neck or something like that, something along those lines. But she could be out. She's going to be out for a while, but not long enough to vacate the title. So maybe that's...
they said that Alexa's getting her shot at the show in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Is it Glasgow?
It's like November, I think. November 6th,
yeah,
I want to say.
A little under a month.
Yeah. They got time. And in the time being, she's going to feud with Naomi, which is fine.
I mean, what other babyface that isn't already in a thing is there besides Naomi? I mean, Nikki Bella is still sort of in the thing with Carmella.
Yeah, and other than that, that's it.
That's it.
That's all you got.
That's your women.
Yep. You got 3 faces, and you got Natalya, Alexa, Carmella.
Eva Marie's out, and when she's going to fill the movie when she's not hurt. So.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, this match was fine. Nothing really to take away from it. And it was kind of surprising seeing Naomi get the win over the number 1 contender. So now,
well, I think that's their way. I mean, it is, but I think that's their way of further sidetracking it and having something for her to do until she gets back. Because they've already established, like, you're going to get your title shot when she gets back.
Yeah.
But if she just beat her here, then it's like that whole thing where it's like, well, I already beat you. Why are we feuding?
Mm-hmm. And then Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. I kind of lost focus during this matchup because you and I were having sort of a heated discussion with Sushan over the over how wrestling is performed.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get to focus as much on this match as I would like to.
Yeah.
So, but from what I saw, it was...
Who could care about this?
Yeah. It was whatever. I was glad that Luke Harper returned. You know, cool to see him.
He's a welcome back to the roster.
So what happened to Eric Rowan? He's
hurt. I don't remember what it is specifically, but he's injured.
Nobody knows.
Somebody knows. It probably wasn't related to in-ring competition, but...
You want to talk about Smackdown since we're just coming off of the pay-per-view?
Sure, let's do it.
I actually missed quite a bit of it. Tyler, did you get to catch all of it? No?
I was sick and I medicated myself and slept through most of it. But I kind of know what happened.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get like too specific with anything.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's just a brief rundown. They had a Ziggler-Miz promo. Miz came out and said, this title is now tainted. It's tarnished. You know, I was the best thing that ever happened for this title. I elevated it to levels it had never been before. Obviously, you know, putting himself over in the process. Then Ziggler had a match with the Spirit Squad, ended up getting the win. Then
Slater Rhino make the save.
Yeah.
And they go for the beatdown.
Yep. We already talked about Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon challenging Raw to the Survivor Series. Got to see Naomi go up against Carmella. Naomi got the win after, I believe, a distraction from Nikki Bella. And then Jimmy Uso went up against Chad Gable. Jimmy Uso gets the win. Got to see AJ cut a promo. And then James Ellsworth.
They like using that guy.
Man,
sign that guy to a contract. I like him. What, they can have someone
the
like what's it called? I mean,
he's the modern day Colin Delaney.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Modern day Colin Delaney. Or they'll use him as, you know, the lovable loser
Yeah.
role. So
He's taking Heath Slater's spot as the guy who the crowd loves, but he always loses.
yeah.
Because now Heath Slater's starting to get a couple wins now. So James Ellsworth gets put in a match against AJ Styles. Dean Ambrose, your special guest referee. You know how that normally goes. Ambrose answering the phone, his cell phone, going out signing autographs, taking pictures.
Was that an old flip phone?
No,
You had?
I don't think so. It might have been. Who knows?
I don't think so.
The nasty Styles clash, because James forgot you're not supposed to tuck your chin whenever you take that match.
He looked like he was all right because he was on talking on Smack.
I saw a picture that
AJ saved his life by going to his knees and not pancaking down.
Yeah. AJ at the very last second, I guess, caught himself.
I got to rewatch that.
And managed
You know how
to.
he pancakes flat on the bump? Well, he like went to his knees instead of flat down. If not, he probably would have broke that kid's neck.
Yeah. Cause
I mean, not that it would
was
have been his
nasty.
fault, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever seen, because I didn't get to see the stuff with Tatsu or whatever, so I didn't see that. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, you're not supposed to tuck.
Yeah. For anyone who is out there trying, if you're not heeding the WWE's warning of don't try this at home and you insist on trying the Styles Clash, do not tuck your chin. Yeah. As the life-saving advice.
How about
right
you guys just don't
Just don't try it.
Well, I'm just saying, if they don't want to heed the warnings,
After this, I'm putting
Don't try
Daniel in
this
the
at home.
Styles Clash.
yeah, good luck lifting my fat ass up. Bray Wyatt teaming up with Luke Harper going up against Randy Orton and Kane. What can you say? They had Randy Orton and Kane had a backstage segment, and he was like, "I know all about the pain and suffering and the voices in my head, and
In my beer, too.
Can you reach my level of agony or whatever?" Oh my god, it was terrible. It was awful. Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper get the win, so we make sure to follow the buzzards.
I'm glad Luke's back, but I hope he's not sucked down by this feud.
Hey.
We don't need Kane.
No, we don't. After that, talk about Raw. Kicked it off with Sasha calling out Charlotte, saying, "I want you in Hell in a Cell," which I dig the concept. First time it'll ever happen. I'm all for it. What was your thoughts on Rusev coming out and interrupting?
I mean, honestly, again, I was sleeping through this most on and off, but I mean, I just thought it was just a way for him to. I mean, they're sort of focusing on the women in a way they haven't in the past.
Yeah.
In the way that they know the roster's kind of thin and they know the women are popular right now, so they're sort of using them. I mean, not that they shouldn't be. Like you're supposed to use whoever's fucking over.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it because it was a way of, you have a guy come in, he's like, y'all can have whatever feud you are having, but right now you're in my ring, you need to get out. And I like the fact that the women are like, hell no, like who the hell do you think you are stepping in our ring? They're like, our beef is a little bit more important than what you've got going on right now.
Plus, it's just a way to get heat on Rusev because
Yeah.
the people are into what the women are doing, and he's like, who gives a fuck about what you're doing? So
Pretty
it's a way to
much.
get heat on him,
But I like the fact that even for that split second, Charlotte and Sasha were on the same page. They're like, no, hell no. Get the hell out of our ring. We've got business to take care of. And then Roman Reigns comes out and stares Rusev down, which set up for the tag match later on in the night. Got to see Kofi go up against Cesaro.
Is there a reason?
Just there. I mean, it's going to be the New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
Oh, yeah.
They get their-
Why did I
So-
say that?
the
Yeah,
title
duh.
opportunity.
Yeah.
So sort of the, okay,
sort
this
of-
week we face you, then next week Sheamus will face Big E or something.
If I remember correctly, they sort of babyface Cesaro and put Sheamus down. They're sort of like, we see what's up with Cesaro. He's all right,
Yeah.
but Sheamus is a douchebag or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not what they
Douchebag.
obviously they said much
Yeah.
more entertaining things than I just said. But
And during the matchup, Sheamus did a Facebook Live video. And
Really?
Yeah, so you can go onto his Facebook page and rewatch it if you want. What I found really funny is that through the first 2 or 3 minutes of it, he's standing there talking, but due to the crowd noise and the mic and him talking, it doesn't pick up on anything just because it's so loud. So it just cuts out all the audio until he stands up and walks over to a different part. And it was kind of interesting because I watched it a little bit, and he would get up and do something, and then 30 seconds later you'd see it on the TV.
Oh, really?
So obviously there's a delay there for censorship purposes and all that, but it was pretty cool. But Kofi ends up defeating Cesaro, and Bayley got to go up against a local enhancement talent, as it was Bayley's hometown. She got her nice homecoming welcome and got the win. Afterwards, she got beat down by Dana Brooke. So I'm thinking this will probably set up for a match at Hell in a Cell.
Superpower beatdown.
Yeah. Cruiserweight action. Lince Dorado made his debut teaming up with Sin Cara, which was nice. They said that Sin Cara wanted to go down into the Cruiserweight division and see what it's all about, which I'm totally fine with because that way he can wrestle more of a lucha style instead of more of the WWE style.
He's definitely not 205 though.
Huh?
He's definitely not 205 though.
No.
Well,
How much would you say he weighs?
Over 205. He's a thick dude.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find that.
Well,
They'll
you know,
just
that's
probably
not their,
say,
that's not their shoot weight.
he cut down or whatever, and he probably didn't.
Well, the thing about it is when they did the classic, they made them all weigh in, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I doubt that.
Mystico is billed at 165.
yeah, well, that's Mystico is substantially smaller than...
Unico is billed at 205.
What are you talking about?
He may be billed at 205 now.
Yeah.
There was only one Sin Cara. What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. Kalisto 170.
All I know is Sin Cara got buff and he got tattoos, okay?
Yeah. So
Bigger.
they teamed up.
Oh, Kalisto is billed at 170.
Yeah.
And Mystico is billed at 165.
Yeah.
I think Mystico's bigger than Kalisto for sure. Don't you think? I mean, at the least are the same size, but I think Kalisto is smaller than Mystico.
Mystico 165, Kalisto 170.
Yeah, that might be bullshit though.
Wow.
Mystico 5'7", Kalisto 5'6".
Yeah, Mystico.
So he's an inch
Kalisto,
shorter and 5 pounds heavier.
I don't think he's heavier. Maybe before he got off the gas. He's a lot less ripped since he got signed.
Mystico 2 is 168. If that counts for anything.
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah. 5'9", 168. Just going by the Google.
Everything that you read on the internet is true.
It is, absolutely. But Lince Dorado and Sin Cara teaming up to go up against Tony Nese and Drew Gulak. So, fine matchup. Good to see the action. The crowd seemed happy to see
Did they
action.
show like more of his submission stuff and his technical stuff of Gulak?
Trying to remember. Not really. I mean, it was mostly just to put over Lince and Sin Cara. But whatever. Then Mick Foley came out and announced that, yes, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte will take place at Hell in a Cell, inside Hell in a Cell. And that's not the only matchup. There's also going to be Reigns versus Rusev, Hell in a Cell. There's going to be Rollins versus Owens at Hell in a Cell. So 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah, none of them feel like they particularly warrant the Hell in a Cell. It's just that whole, like, it's Hell in a Cell month
It's
thing.
big, and, this is kind of contradictory to my biggest complaints over the years, where it's like, okay, you have this match, or you have this particular stipulation, and you name the entire pay-per-view after it, but you only have one match that's inside Hell in a Cell. So this one, I'm okay with multiple matches, but like you said, there's not really a big build to warrant Hell in a Cell. Like,
Yeah.
if you want Dana Brooke out, cage match, or something like that, or a banner from ringside. Like, I don't feel, I don't feel like the aggression is there to the degree where it's like the only way we can settle this is to trap you two inside Hell in a Cell.
None of this shit feels personal. This doesn't feel like a vendetta. This doesn't feel. None of these feel like a blood feud. I mean, like I'm fine with the Cell, but I want you to tell me the story that is deserving of them wrestling in the Cell.
Yeah, and this is one of the main reasons why I dislike the stipulation or the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, the TLC pay-per-view. It takes away the surprise and the happy, the oh my gosh, the shock value. Everyone's going in, well, it's December, which means TLC's right around the corner. So that, they go in expecting it, and then you just put on matches because of it. Instead of this feud has boiled to this point that the only way that we can contain it is inside Hell in a Cell. Like, everything's gone crazy. These guys are fighting in the crowd. They're destroying everything in their path. We've got to contain these two so that they can hash it out, but keep everyone else safe,
I want to feel like two motherfuckers hate each other. I want to feel like if allowed, these two people might try and kill each other.
Yeah.
But I don't care that two people are upset with each other over the fact that one isn't the boss's pet and one is the boss's pet now.
Yeah.
Or someone ruined your stupid like wedding party thing. That to me that doesn't.
It doesn't justify going inside the cell.
To me, it's just like, okay, whatever. But I mean, I want to feel the hate if you're going in the cell, you know?
I mean, think back to before the Hell in a Cell pay-per-views. Whenever they had that build to where they were like, you know, we've gone as far as we can. Hell in a Cell. The crowd was like, oh, damn, holy crap, that's insane.
If you can't convey the hate, at least convey that nothing else has worked to finish this off. And it doesn't feel like the hate is there, and it doesn't feel like this is the last resort either for these people, for any of them.
Take the pull-apart feud that John Cena and Brock Lesnar had, where they were literally forced to be restrained, you know, bring them into separate corners. Take that and apply it to the Hell in a Cell. Like, the only way that these two are going to, you know, tear each other apart is inside Hell in a Cell.
I feel like if they had ran with it, we could have got there with
Yeah.
Zayn and Owens, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's too late for that now. But.
Sure. But yeah, so we're going to have 3 matches inside Hell in a Cell. Whoopee. We got to see Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. They were going to go up against Enzo and Cass, but Enzo and Cass end up getting attacked by Anderson and Gallows before their match gets underway. So
Just I'll give them something to do.
Yeah, that'll probably be one of your kickoff matches for Hell in a Cell. Then Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are like, nah, man, we want to fight. We want a match. And Sami Zayn and Neville answer the call. So
I figured it would be Neville when Sami Zayn came out.
yeah, me too. Which I don't have a problem with either of the guys coming out. It was a quick
Sami Zayn's
matchup.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
Neville's not doing anything.
I think this was like the first time we've seen Curtis Axel on Raw since the split.
I think you're right about that.
And, you know, it was a quick little 3.5 minute matchup. They didn't even go to commercial for it. Sami Zayn and Neville get the win. Bo Dallas was upset, took his sign, and went home. Got to see R-Truth go up against Titus O'Neil. Another quick matchup. R-Truth gets the win. Hashtag make it a win. Titus O'Neil not happy at his press conference later. Again, Tom Phillips the only one in the room, and Titus was having microphone problems. But
I like that stuff.
then
Press conference.
then we got to see a matchup with Braun as he went up against the Splash Brothers, Steven and Clay, which, all right. Braun Strowman made quick work of them, said, Mick Foley, is this all the best you have? And I want more, blah, blah, blah.
And Mick Foley is dressed weird this Raw.
Are you talking about his custom flannel suit?
Yeah.
Man.
With his
You know, women go crazy about a sharp dressed man.
sharp dressed flannel man.
Flannel man, that's right.
Flannel man.
So, still wondering who the first real competition for Braun Strowman will be. Sasha teaming up with Roman, defeat Charlotte and Rusev. Whatever. Wolverine. Yeah, what's up with that facial hair? Paul Heyman addresses the Goldberg stuff that's going on. Do you guys have any interest in seeing Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar?
No.
Because I know I sure don't.
I was sort of hoping they did it at the Rumble just because I've never seen Goldberg live before. Even that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, it's not a match that I was looking forward to, and it's not a match that I would have any.
It's going to be a different style than their last match. I mean, Lesnar's changed.
I sure hope so.
Lesnar's changed.
Their last match was god awful.
Lesnar's changed, so he's just going to dominate Goldberg the whole time.
But is he though? Are they bringing in Goldberg just to do the job?
Yeah, they're you know, your Mania match is going to be Shane versus Brock. How fucking stupid is that?
I don't.
Is that really what the?
Yeah, they're bringing in Goldberg to make Brock look good, so he can wrestle Shane at WrestleMania. Mark my words.
They have been marked.
I don't want to see this.
Is that a mark?
Goldberg was always very basic.
Yeah,
Very,
sure.
Very
limited.
But I wasn't a big WCW fan, but the stuff I researched and watched, I did like that dominant persona that he had. Maybe not so much now, but
With it was like 173 wins or something in a row.
I mean, I thought that was cool, but
I just remember watching that week after week. I was like, this is awesome. This guy's never going to lose.
They're going to pay him a lot, and he's going to lose to, I don't know. He's just not going to be that dominant. He's just going to get his butt whooped off. I don't know how they're going to play it out in this match.
I remember where I was when Goldberg's streak ended. I watched it happen live, and I was like, no.
Because I was like, and who was the first one to defeat him?
It was Kevin Nash. With help from Scott Hall, who used a stun gun, but it was taped off at the end for safety purposes. But
I think it's more of a cattle prod because stun guns are those little handheld things. The cattle prod looks like a big fucking
like it was a stun stick or something, whatever it was. But they had it taped off at the end, but it would still make that noise. And if you go back and watch it, you can see the tape clear as day. Just, whatever, and then Kevin Nash, delivered the power bomb and. Won the title. That was whenever he was part of the Wolfpack. But where I was at...
It's also when he was booking.
Yes, that's true as well. But I was at...
Who would have thought? Book yourself to go over here?
I was at my sister's, at the time, boyfriend's house. Now ex-boyfriend. But I remember he got all in my face. He was like, girl, I told you he was going to lose. And I'm like, you're a jerk. But yeah, so I'm not looking forward to seeing Goldberg versus Lesnar 2. Goldberg versus Lesnar 1 was bad enough. If you don't believe me, and you have the WWE Network, or you happen to have WWE or WrestleMania 20 in your possession, go back and watch that match and tell me I'm wrong.
They're only 13 years older now, so
yeah.
Goldberg is 49.
49 years old.
And Brock is 39.
Somewhere around there, yeah. So,
And plus, how is he going to act? Because he already did an interview with Xavier Woods, and he did the ESPN thing. So I don't know where my head's at. I would like
they cut shit together to make it sound way more than it was because his original was like, I could probably do it. I need some time to get ready though, and they made it seem like
I'm good to go.
Let's do this.
Let's do this next week.
That's why I was thinking maybe. He's like, at least, because he said something like, at least give me to the end of the year to get ready. So I was like, that's why I thought we were going to go to the Rumble.
Yeah.
So, but apparently they're full steam ahead for Survivor Series.
I'm okay with that match not happening at the Rumble. I'm just saying. I know you'd like to see him live, as would I, because I've never seen Goldberg wrestle live. But I'm okay with that not happening. He can go up against James Ellsworth for all I care.
I'm not upset about it. It's just been like a check on the, yes, I did see Goldberg live once.
Don't worry. Goldberg will be dominant in 2K17 for me. So
it'll be like my first time watching Sting wrestle live. It ended up being his last match, but I got to see it. So.
Kind of a disaster.
Well, don't worry. I've seen Sting in some good matches live before. So
nice. T.J. Perkins goes up against Arya Davari. It was fine. Nothing bad about it. Seth Rollins goes up against Chris Jericho. If Jericho wins, he's in the Hell in a Cell match to make it a triple threat. So they're kind of planting the seeds. Maybe Jericho is gonna get that title shot.
If
against
one
Kevin
of us
Owens.
is champion, we're both champion.
Yeah,
we're the champ.
I can be champion, and Kevin Owens is still champion. And then Kevin Owens is like, "Yeah, that's right. I could be champion, and Jericho could be champion." So I like the little crisscross that they do with that.
You're on the list.
Well, they do the we both think we're better than each other, but we put up the front like we're friends things so well.
Yeah,
because they just do the small things like the Kevin and Chris show with them when the other guy says
then
that
the Chris
it's
and Kevin show.
It's like he puts his name first, and then it's just the way that Jericho is intrigued and excited when she's like, "You may get the title shot or whatever if you do whatever," but he just I don't know. They do it really well. I mean, he's totally reinvented himself character wise, and
you know what? You're on the list again, Felipe.
I did chuckle a bit.
I like the Stephanie thing. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry because you said the list though. With the Stephanie where he's like, I wasn't going to put you on the list. I don't even know how to spell Stephanie.
I did chuckle a
He's
bit
like
as
erasing
well.
it while he's saying that.
I did chuckle as well whenever he was in the ring, and he's like, "You know what, Mick Foley, you're on the list again." He was like, "Dude, the list was created because of me. What are you talking about? Of course I'm on the list." So just really good interaction.
It's just so weird how the list is so over.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it shouldn't because it's funny, but it's just so weird that like they got over.
The crowd is like waiting for him to say it.
No,
now.
it's the littlest things. That and then it.
Yeah,
is over. So
the way that Owens always like corrects the spelling. No, it's Kofi with an I. Kofi.
Woods is laughing. Oh, Woods, you're laughing too? You know what happens to that? You know what happens when you're laughing?
I actually liked how New Day
You're
sold
on the list.
I liked how New Day sold it.
No!
He's like, no, I don't do this.
Don't put me on the
It
list.
sounds so dumb to say, but like if I don't know, I just like it. I don't know.
Drink it in, man. So Rollins ends up defeating Jericho, so it's still a traditional one-on-one. So that pretty much does it for all the wrestling. I did not get to catch Lucha Underground. I am so far behind on that. I just get home and I'm just done. Caught a little bit of NXT from this past week, so we got to see the debut of Sanity, which is kind of interesting to say.
who is Sanity?
It's two guys, a girl, not a pizza place, and Eric Young.
Okay, let me see if I can get this. It's Alexander Wolf. Nikki Storm is the girl. I don't know if she's going by Nikki Storm because I missed the show as well. And what is the other dude? How I know it? I know it's on the tip of my tongue.
Tip of the tongue, the top of the teeth.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, tell us, Daniel.
I don't know. He got more than I got. I got Eric Young. So there's that. So yeah.
So when is it? Is it next week's episode when we're gonna see what's his name's partner, Austin Aries' partner?
I guess so. Stay tuned for that.
It's gonna be Funaki.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have a jingle, so
Sawyer Fulton. Who was the
Nice.
guy who was teaming with Dawkins for a while? when they
Angelo
were-
Dawkins.
Yeah, he's the guy who was teaming with him for a while. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna
I
say
had to finish it because we
Yeah.
were soon.
yeah. I don't have a jingle, but if you guys would like to talk about Total Bellas, y'all go right ahead.
Okay. This is the first episode of.
Would you like me to do like an
Total
intro for you, or
Go ahead.
just
sure.
on the spot? And now Total Bellas with Doug and Tyler.
All right. Hey, we're here. Like I said, it's the first episode of Total Bellas. It starts out saying that, what was it? Nikki needs help because she, had surgery on her neck. So she wants to help with her family. So once she talked to John and see if they can move in to John Cena's house. They'll say it's their house. It's John Cena and Nikki's. But it's John Cena's house. So it's. I didn't think that Johnny Ace and her mom moved in. I don't know because I think they said he lives down the street about like 20 minutes.
They said he lives in the area, but I don't recall them saying that him and their mother lives together already.
So
I may be wrong about that though.
Daniel Bryan, Bree, JJ. I thought JJ's girlfriend or wife was it. And like in the promos, the pictures when they're all standing on the steps, I swear there was a.
She's in the promo picture, but she wasn't. At least she wasn't on the first episode.
Yeah. So they all get there. They have a meeting. John Cena lays down the rules. Pretty much leave everything like it was, or like everything's neat. Like when you get up, make your bed. Let's see. What some other things? Once a week, they're going to dress super nice. Like suits, dresses, and stuff like that, and eat dinner in the house together.
Yeah, like coffee in the morning together.
Coffee in the morning.
No shoes in the house.
No shoes in the house.
Don't leave your shit everywhere.
Yeah, and then afternoons they'll get with each other and they'll separate.
I think that's just after the fancy dinner.
After the fancy dinner, the guys will go into a cigar room or something, and the girls will go to another room and gossip or whatever.
That's extremely sexist, but okay.
That is. Sorry. I'm not sexist. I just said that. There's something else. No, just how he said everything. Everyone was very wide-eyed. And, yeah. So, let's see. What else happened afterwards? I know. Oh, they brought the dog, Josie. Oh, also, Nikki and John, they have a dog, too.
Winston, I believe.
Winston. So, Josie bit John Cena. We didn't see it. They didn't show it, but they showed a part where he was about to walk in, and Josie tries to walk into the house from outside the pool, and Josie follows him, and he looks down, and he jumps, and oh shit! So he gets mad and was like, "This is unacceptable. We need to call animal control on this dog." Everyone's apologizing, sorry, that happened. But John Cena was super pissed about it, and he didn't like that. He wanted to get rid of the dog.
Yeah, I mean, basically the whole show was them putting over, like, Cena's rules and everyone reacting to his rules and sort of being uncomfortable in the house and around him and approaching him about the way he does things and the way he expects people staying in his house to be. That's basically the entirety of the first show. They sort of put over the fact that Brian and Brie don't really want to be there because they are so different, like personality wise or whatever.
And
but
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's just from little things to where like he makes a big deal about like no shoes in the house. So when they go to the fancy dinner, they don't put like shoes on.
Yeah.
And they're like, why the fuck aren't you wearing shoes? It's just like good because they're like, oh, well, we thought you didn't want. I thought it was really funny when Brian's like, should I tuck my pants into my like socks or whatever? It's just weird.
Yeah.
The thing is that like I can relate to John Cena on the level of like I don't like people like messing with my stuff either, and I like my possessions in a very particular way. I don't like people messing with them, and even if I know they're not going to really fuck them up, it's just like a weird like personality quirk that I have. So I identify him with that, with him in that way. But I think the difference between John Cena and me is that like I feel really guilty about acting that way, and I feel like bad about it, and I almost sort of hate that about myself. But he feels really dickish about it, and like not like he hates that about himself, like the way I feel like I hate it about my own self. And like I'm almost like apologetic in a way about it. Like I've like flat out said things to people about like how they've handled my stuff, but like the way that he's like so unflinching about it is what is like what the deal is. I think more so than he's particular about his things, So that's, I guess, what my takeaway and my big question is that, and let me know what you think, is that how much of that do you think is the real John Cena, and how much of that do you think is John Cena's Total Bella's character?
I think there's some truth to it. I think that he doesn't want his house messed with, like, I don't know about the bed situation, stuff like that, but like, don't mess with this, don't destroy that, and stuff like that.
Well, they sort of peppered in like ways that he was sort of a dick about things, even offhandedly, like when they were having drinks with her mom and she says, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, you sure didn't make your bed this morning. Or
yeah.
Just like weird stuff that you would never say to people.
Yeah, I think that's fake or whatever. But, And I don't know. There was also another thing that he said though. He goes, "Let me know if y'all are staying up late because we have to go bed on a certain time. Because if not, and you keep a light open, this is a state where something where you can shoot first or something like that."
Yeah, he was basically saying it was he would shoot first and ask questions later, and he has a lot of guns or whatever.
So I don't know. I feel like there's part of that stuff is fake, but
I have no doubt that a certain percentage of it is worked up as a Total Bella storyline. But my question is, like, how much of it do you think is worked up?
Okay.
Put a percentage on it. Give me. There's no right answer.
Okay.
We would never fucking know. But is it like
think
50-50? Do you think it's 70-30? Do you think it's 60-40? How much of you think is bullshit for Total Bellas, and how much do you think is the real John Cena?
Calculate.
Because he sort of seems like a weird dude.
No,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he does like the charity stuff and whatever, and that's good. I'm not trying to take that away from him or anything, but like even with his like Total Divas character, he seems like such a tight ass that it's like he seems like so uncomfortable with like being. I don't even know what the word would be for it. He's so uncomfortable with being like natural about things. It's just so weird. Like he's I don't know. So I buy into like some portion of that is
maybe like 40-60?
40-60 in which way? 40 that's the real him, or 60 that's the real him?
40 that's the real him.
All right, that's interesting.
Because I could be totally wrong. I think that's weird that
we would never know. So there's not a right answer.
Know. That whole and I don't even know how many people even stay there, but like the whole, we're gonna go eat dinner once a week, all this stuff and make whole. I don't know. I think the only thing to me that really makes sense is, hey, this is my house. Don't fuck my shit up. Everything else is.
Well, I think that's sort of reasonable in a way.
That is very reasonable.
But I think it's the way that he's like so unflinching about it is what makes him seem like an asshole. Because I'm sort of the same way, but I sort of hate myself for it. And so like I would want to say that or mean to say that, but I could never be so blunt as that he is. I just that's what sort of makes him look like the asshole about it.
With some other things, they're talking about sex. Bree says that Daniel Bryan doesn't know what a quickie is. Then
I guess we should. For people who didn't watch it, she doesn't mean he doesn't actually know what it is. It's just that he's not the type of dude.
He's not into it.
He doesn't do a quickie. He's like a take his time guy, I guess.
I forgot. There was something they said about John Cena.
How much of that do you think is Daniel Bryan character?
See, he's not really into it. Now what I mean is he wasn't there when they said that. So,
right. It's hard to judge when he's not saying it himself.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Supposedly the season is like coming off the heels of when he like sort of found out that he wasn't going to wrestle. So supposedly we're headed for some raw, like unnerved, like Daniel Bryan stuff, which I'd be interested to see how he relax. Because they sort of like, even the way that Cena was sort of like giving him the 20 questions about what he's going to do, like sort of came across as like a huge dick move where he's just sort of like, I don't know, motherfucker. They just told me I can't wrestle and I want to wrestle. It was weird the way he was like, so what are you going to do?
Because in the back of my head, it's like, they're telling me, I can't wrestle. I can wrestle. They're not allowing me. So he's going to have to go with this for.
Which is pretty weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not enough Big Johnny for my taste.
No, it wasn't.
I'm sure he's going to get worked in some more, but.
Yeah. I know that JJ, Brian, and Bree wanted to build like some dog obstacle course.
No, I think it's just a dog run, like a way that Josie could run in the yard, but like not get out.
Like a little fenced-in area.
Yeah,
they freaked out, like, "Oh, you didn't ask John," and blah 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 blah. So
yeah, the finish was basically just them confronting like John about like the way he made everyone feel super uncomfortable, and he was just basically like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like that. And it didn't really feel like they got any resolve to the situation, but
no, nope.
I don't know.
That's it. And this whole like season, I know they showed different things. It was like Nikki would come to Brie and like, oh well, Brian's lying about this. I don't think Brian's telling the truth. I know John's telling the truth, so I don't know what's going on. Shit like that.
Yeah.
So we will see.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have like a cool closing like the girl bye for this.
We will figure something out. Even with Total Divas, I mean, Girl Bye is gone because what's her name? Cameron's gone too. So,
but it still came from
Yeah.
Total Divas.
You're a grown ass woman.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys.
How awesome would it be if Vinny was on Total Bills for no reason at all?
Just shows up. Hey guys, what's
up,
going
guys?
on?
Hey, I brought the hookahs. Hookah.
Yeah. 2K17 released this past week. Mr. Aberg did a fine job of unboxing it.
Yes.
If you might have seen our Facebook
I made a little
Live
mistake
video.
though. I was totally wrong on the cards. There was only one card from that
That's
set.
all right.
You don't get the whole set. So I think I got Dawson.
We forgive you. We forgive
But,
you and we love you.
I played a little bit. Things that I've noticed I like. Okay, when you start up the game, you know right before a show starts, it'll have that dun dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 whatever that song. They do that before you go into the menu. You can skip it, but it's there. The menu layout is so cool. So you can. It's not your typical menu stuff that you pick, but also in the background you'll have like one of the entrances going on. Like one of the superstars, he'll walk across the screen and then he'll disappear. Then he'll come up and like he'll like pose and do whatever.
Yeah.
Or her. It's pretty cool. Matches wise, I mean, I only played a little bit, so I'm just gonna tell the cool things that I've discovered. It's a lot like last year. They're just building on new things, and there's some things that have changed. Let's see. Oh, breakout. You know how you can attack people? You can do that in tag matches. That now.
Nice.
Because I was playing as the American Alpha versus Breezango, and I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to skip because I got the American Alpha to come out, and Tyler was coming out, and then we did a breakout. I was like, oh, wow. So he was in the ring, and we beat him up and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, the camera shows the entrance. Here comes Fandango running out and stuff like
Nice.
that. What else? Whenever you pick a character in the main menu, Lillian Garcia will announce them
Very cool.
automatically. So that's cool. A lot of new moves and motions.
Have you begun Create a Wrestler?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've only done singles matches, and I'm just trying to get, controls. I don't know if there's just been a gap between what I played last year and this year. I know it's been like 3 or 4 months, but it seems like with the reversals, it's just kicking my butt. I mean, I'm getting
Tougher.
it, but it just seems like it's
A little harder.
a little harder, and like they're just like reversing me a lot.
Nice. More review to follow.
Yeah, and like I know out of nowhere, this is this regular singles mode. I don't know how this works, because I know in universe mode you can have people like, who are mad at you. I don't think last year they did run-ins, but in regular singles mode, I was playing Goldberg versus Triple H, and I was beating up on Triple H and stuff, and then Diamond Dallas Page runs out of there like out of nowhere and tries to fight me and stuff like that. He's on Triple H's side, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Also, who I was playing Shinsuke, and I picked a random person, and it landed on Connor. So, and I was beating up on Connor, and I won the match, but I got out of nowhere a cheap shot. Blake came out of there out of nowhere and started beating me up.
Weird.
Wow.
Huh.
So there's some cool features in here, and I
I'll tell
want
you-
some more time to
I'll
play.
tell you a quick story. I went and sold some of my games back to GameStop today, and I had a small gift card to Target. So I was like, okay, well, I'll take the money from GameStop, go over to Target, and I'll get 2K17. They didn't have it. Not even a display for it. So I was like, well, that's fate telling me I wasn't originally going to get the game. So that's destiny telling me, nah, you're just not going to get this
GameStop will give
one.
you cash?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they just give you store credit.
Normally they do, but now for however long, I don't know if it's just a limited deal, they'll give you the same amount of cash as they would as an in-store credit. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm all about that. So
that means you're not going to get the game.
looks like I'm not. Bummer. Sorry.
Sure.
Maybe if it goes on sale, I'll get it.
That'll be a while.
Just because it's so much to commit to, it's so much money to commit to that I only play a few times, you know.
Fair enough.
But yeah. But look forward to coming over to your place and playing it and having a good time. If I play it enough, I'm like, okay, yeah, I got the bug for it. Maybe I'll get it, but at the moment, I'm okay without it. But we do have some hot topics. A lot of twos or second times involved in this one. The first two that we have, Paige has been suspended for a second time, this time for 60 days. Apparently she violated the wellness policy.
3 strikes, you're out.
Again, yeah, not looking good for her. So I don't know. Supposedly she forgot to get a doctor's prescription note sent over to the WWE, and they popped her for it and has been suspended yet again.
Like that?
No. There is more to the story than this.
Okay.
It was announced that she failed second time. Excuse me. She posted a bunch of shit on Twitter about how it doesn't matter if you have a prescription for your meds because it's not good enough, but certain people can get away with it or whatever. Although WWE apparently does have something that says you have to, whatever you're taking has to come from their doctors, like prescription wise or whatever. Apparently that is an actual thing. But then WWE fired back, was like, no. This is not something that like, this is like illegal drugs. This isn't like you got a prescription for someone else that we are not accepting, like valid like medication. This is like illicit like drug use or whatever. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Did you see the TMZ video with her and Del Rio talking?
No, but though if it's about the stabbing, he doesn't change his story 5 times, so it's all bullshit as far as I'm concerned.
Really? What was he like? He personally changed his story 5 times.
Yeah, well, I've heard him, and then people relaying his story that he's changed it like 5 times. So I don't know. And if you've seen Paige lately, she looks not well.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I was alluding to. Like in the video, she's looking like she's kind of out there.
Yeah, she looks sketchy as fuck.
You guys show me a picture.
Yeah.
Or was she like that in the TMZ?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, show me that video afterwards.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So she got
popped.
popped.
WWE was trying to save you from going this way, and
so she's suspended for 60 days, and supposedly she's having a career-threatening neck surgery or something soon. I don't know any details on that, but that's just what she's saying. So she'll be out even longer than 60 days, it's looking. Another injury, Hideo Itami injured again. This time he's going to be out a number of months again. Just came back, already back on the shelf. It's so sad to see.
Yeah, because what's the name? Austin and their feud did not like finish, right?
No. Just it's tough. I mean, I know injuries happen, and
I hope that. I mean, I know there's other factors that WWE will release someone for, but I hope they don't like.
I hope they don't consider him injury prone or something like that.
Yeah,
because we watched the video right before we started doing the show, and it was just a freak move. It ended wrong. Accidents happen inside the ring, and this was just one of those cases.
Fuck.
It was out of his control, But so he's going to be out.
I don't know if it's a freak accident. I think it might have been the other guy's fault. Because when you're giving the power slam, you're in control of their body. You sort of tuck them under when you're rotating around.
He just didn't do it well, and unfortunately, Hideo's paying the price.
I mean, because if you think about that, when you're being given or taking a power slam, your body is in complete like you're giving them control of your whole body. You're just sort of going with it.
Yeah. Final bit of Hot Topic news in the world of twos. Trish Stratus has announced that she is pregnant with her second child. So congratulations to her.
Congrats.
Some happy news to pass along. So good stuff. With that being said, time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. Only question this week coming to us from Jamal saying, hey guys, great work as usual. My question may be a bit long, but it's about someone I think super highly of, and that is Adam Cole. Do you think Adam is the most WWE-ready superstar on the indies currently in terms of promos, fitting into the WWE style of wrestling, character, the WWE look, although he may not be that big? Do you think he might be underrated as a worker because he doesn't have a standout, high-flying, or technical style to his arsenal? He has put great matches with Jay Briscoe and most recently Jay Lethal and Kyle O'Reilly. Thanks, guys. Keep up the stellar work. So thank you very much for the question, Jamal. We certainly appreciate it.
I don't think he's underrated. I think he's adequately rated. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like enough people are.
I think enough people are respecting his work. And
I wouldn't say he's underrated. I'd say he's about rated properly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's any reason that he was done some tryouts and there was like interest. I mean, like the hot word, which doesn't always pan out as the hot word, but I mean, I thought the word was he's wrapping up in December at Final Battle to go to NXT. I mean, that's not like something anyone said for sure, but that's sort of like
it'll keep your ears open for the new word.
The sort of the talk that people are like laying down out there is like he's done after Final Battle and he's headed to NXT.
Wow.
That'd be cool.
That's my understanding. I mean, again, that's
awesome.
like people speculation. That's sort of what the speculation is.
Yeah. That's awesome if that's the case. I hope we get to see him in WWE. I mean, he's certainly one of those guys that they could pick up in an instant. He'd gel very well with their formula, especially in NXT. I mean, my God, the talent pool over there is amazing. So he'd do just fine. Fun fact: I don't know how long you've been listening, Jamal, but if you actually go back, or you can go either on our YouTube channel, that's where you submitted the question, or you can go onto our Facebook page and click on the albums and click on the album Guests on Our Podcast. And we actually had an interview with Adam Cole back in like 2011. It was a very early episode, probably like episode 34, 33, somewhere around there. But we actually got to interview Adam Cole. Really good guy. Awesome to talk to. I would love to have him on again. I've actually reached out to him a couple of times, and he's like, yeah, I would love to come on. Just, reach out to these guys, and we can go from there. And, of course, I get the runaround where I'll email those guys and never hear back. So maybe we'll have him on again one day. Who knows?
Never.
But yeah, I would certainly love to see Adam Cole come on. He's a very talented dude. And who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Possibly as early as hey, Royal Rumble's in January. Throw him right in there. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, don't be like, ha, if he's not like
No.
I'm just saying that's what the talk out there is.
There's rumors going around right now. Nothing is confirmed. So thank you for the question. That's going to do it for us this week. Make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube channel, WNS Video, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to our show on iTunes if you haven't already by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We are on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
The podcast is on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel, and Tyler's at Tyler_Abear.
Even though he never uses it. So that's going to do it for us this week. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I am Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.
Bye.